The Kingpin of Cinema and the QB999 is brought to you by...
Optics Optometry. Can you see me now?
Hello, YouTube. The Kingpin of Cinema here.
With the QB999. He's letting me say more and more words now.
Yeah, don't get... I'm going to take away those words if you keep fucking up like that. Took you 5 seconds to answer. So anyhow, we wanted to talk about something that kind of came up recently at Gamescon. Kind of a big announcement. You know, it's no big deal.
Not really.
You know, not really. But I'm sure it's going to make all the Sony faggots happy. But what is this announcement? Well, BioWare is porting Mass Effect 2 to the Sony PS3 in September of... No, not September. January of 2011. So it's porting out.
Big deal. I don't really care. It doesn't make a difference to me.
You know, this is kind of what I was like thinking when I heard that announcement. I was like really surprised to hear that, but then I was kind of like, I get the idea of wanting to broaden the audience, but chances are most of everyone that's wanted to play it has played it.
One way or another.
Yeah, because it's on the PC too. So as part of the announcement, they're like, well, it's going to have content, additional content on there that's not on the Microsoft one.
Well, at least it's going to have additional content. They didn't specify if it was going to be PS3 exclusive content.
And that's kind of where we're getting a bit of a problem. If it's PS3 exclusive content, that's going to piss off a lot of people.
Then
on
all the Microsoft bitches are going to whine and complain, just like they did with Modern Warfare 2 not having
dedicated servers.
Yeah, and then they're going to go back and get it anyway. We're going to boycott it and not get it. I got it.
I'm not going to get Left 4 Dead 2 because it came out a year after the first one.
Because it should be a DLC.
I'm going to get it. Even though Modern Warfare comes out
it's not just the fact that
year.
they're bitches, it's just that they're hypocrites too.
Yeah, it's mostly because they're hypocrites. But we're kind of getting a little off track. So, what does this really mean? Well, right now the only...
It just means companies want more money, so they broaden out. That's all it is.
Yeah, basically the idea of the third-party exclusive is going the way of the dinosaur. And everybody needs more money, so they're going to whore out to as many platforms as possible to maximize profits. Look at Modern Warfare 2. 20 million units sold. That's not because it's on one console, it's because it's on 3 different platforms.
It's on everything. Even then, it's also... There's a cell phone game, there's a Game Boy game, I believe.
Yeah. And the only thing that's, like, for sure right now about this going to Sony is that the third one is going to be a multi-platform release. And that's when you're going to get even more tricky stuff. Who's going to get what exclusive content for what system?
It's mostly going to be who gets it first, because normally a lot of the stuff does eventually come out for both systems. It's just all, okay, who's going to pay more money to keep it away from the other one for more time? I
think chances are that Microsoft will probably get the exclusive stuff first, just because...
Well, that's because Bill Gates has his money hole.
Yeah. So, really, it's just interesting to look at the industry as more and more companies are going out. And the same day that this announcement was made, Microsoft put out its statement saying, oh yeah, that's great that they're broadening their audience and everything, but Mass Effect 1 will not be going to the PS3.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. You'll only get half of the beginning story.
So anyone that hasn't played it, that has a PlayStation, gets it, is getting the middle of the story. Unless that somehow ties in with the exclusive content, which I just don't know. Nobody knows what that is.
Yeah. To me, honestly, these third-party they're just pussies. They're just jumping ship and sitting in the middle of the river waiting to see whose boat sinks faster.
That's an interesting interpretation.
Choose a side and stay with it. Insomniac, Square Enix, BioWare.
Yeah, if you haven't heard, Insomniac is developing new IPs that's going to be multi-platform. But Sony was like, no, you can't. Ratchet & Clank and Resistance are exclusives. You can't broaden those out. So we're like, well, fuck it. We'll just make new IPs. Fucking Sony.
Fucking Microsoft.
Yeah, I love you too, buddy. Fucking
Another thing I want to address too was an announcement, it's at least something of a speculation. The Nintendo 3DS, the little 3D handheld, the most awesome little handheld ever.
No, like, seriously, like, every single game reviewer that was at E3, every video, every review that they put out there were sucking Nintendo's cock. 3D, it's like God's gift to the universe.
That thing is going to cost you just as much as a PS3 or an Xbox would.
That's the speculation right now, that it's going to be $300.
$300 for a little handheld.
For a handheld that is 3D. Yeah, I admit it's kind of cool that you don't need glasses for 3D, but $300? Oh my god.
I would not pay that much for any handheld.
Or phone, for that matter. iPhone. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Apple. Fuckers.
Still, $300... I don't know. I guess they just want more money. I guess making all the money from the Wii wasn't good enough for them.
Well, you know what's interesting is one guy was talking about, ever since the Virtual Boy, Nintendo's always been kicking around the idea of a handheld 3D system for the past 15 years. Now the technology is actually there, now they can do it. And I'm kind of like...
Nintendo, I will say this, they are very innovative with their technology. They're the first to try new things. I applaud that.
They changed the whole industry.
I applaud that, but they still have yet to do any of that right.
Yeah, I mean, well, look at, like, the PlayStation Move. I think that is actually really improved upon the Wii.
They're taking the idea, and I think they are going to actually be able to perfect it.
Now,
you'll actually have third-party games that will probably actually work with it, and even if it doesn't, you'll still have the good old controller as opposed to the Nintendo Wii, where you have the weird classic controller or having to hold a Wiimote to the side.
Yeah, I mean, even from the beginning, Sony was like, well, you're not going to be stuck with it for any one game. You always have the option of using our control scheme. They're saying that for now. I think eventually they're going to get to a point where
they'll force you to get it.
They'll force you to use it for games because they want you to buy it.
Still, anyway, we are not going to pay $300 for a fucking DS.
And I don't plan on spending $180 to get Sony Move, and I don't plan on spending $150 for Microsoft's Kinect. If you could just like pan over for a second, like right here.
Could you imagine him playing Dance Central in this small area?
Can you imagine this amount of space for the Kinect? I can't. I honestly can't. I'm gonna be like...